Hey guys, how we doing? It's Wednesday night. You're listening to Levels of Wrestling, and this is LoWdown. Don't forget, if you're listening to this, please give us a like, share, and subscribe over on YouTube. When you're done there, you can head over to levelsofwrestling.podbean.com. And if you're not listening on there, there's always iTunes and Spreaker as well. Don't forget, if you download our app on the Google Play Store, you can download that straight to Android. You can hear ourselves, Mind of Carnage, Ringside Ramblers, Just Saying, and of course the Wrestle Addicts. The Just Saying girls are going by the name of hashtag Just Saying Wrestling now, so don't forget to double check that. And tomorrow night as well, you can head over to the Wrestle Addicts and hear their biggest show yet. It's going to be fantastic. Do not miss out, okay? That's going to be absolutely phenomenal. It's an award show, and they're giving out all the best. Tonight, I'm joined by Crystal. Paul will be joining us later on, and hopefully Chris can rejoin. Speak of the devil. Chris, can you hear us?
Hear me?
Yo, Chris, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Us?
Fantastic. We can hear you.
Brilliant. Literally, as we're just about to start, what did you guys feel about Raw this week? I personally feel they kind of pulled their finger out their ass. It was a really interesting show. They didn't have too much to worry about. Even with things like Roman Reigns being in Philadelphia, that was kind of a big step for them. So how did you guys feel about it?
You guys can carry on. I felt like, they really pulled the finger out their ass more than anything. It wasn't so much a matter of Raw being better than usual. Raw was better. Raw was where it should be, to be honest. Like I said before, it used to be. It went from being an A to being a C, maybe a C plus on average. They brought their A game. Vince came back, which was bound to bring ratings because Vince always brings ratings. They transitioned his Reigns' character from Cena to something more like Austin, so that works fine.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of saw a lot of comparisons with Vince. Definitely seen the kind of Stone Cold thing that me and Paul discussed for Ambrose instead. But doing it with Reigns, great move. Very clever.
However, it should be said, one spike in the ratings doesn't mean everything.
Of course, completely. Although ratings mean nothing nowadays. But
that's true.
I agree that, a spike doesn't change anything. Hopefully they continue it next week.
I disagree, and I'd say ratings do still mean something because people will watch if it's the best show on that night. If your ratings are low and people say, oh, but they've DVR'd it, well, that's great, but why aren't they watching it live? Is it not the greatest show to watch on that night? If not, step your game up.
True. Crystal, what were your thoughts on it?
Well, I think it was pretty nervy for them to have Reigns win it the day after TLC. Although it does prove that what we had said earlier, that Sheamus was a transitional champion. He was not the long-term plan going forward. He was just going to hold the title until they figured out what they were doing. And again, they've pulled their finger out of their butt, and this could be the opening of a whole new storylines. Personally, I think Dean Ambrose has gone from, a very fascinating person to being, an afterthought. I'm hoping they don't just do a Cena 2.0 with Reigns. I'm hoping that his reign will actually Reigns reign. No. Say that 6 times fast.
No.
I hope it actually does mean something, and it's not a complete waste like Rollins was. Like, let's face it, Rollins' reign was marred in mediocrity.
Well, let's be honest. The problem with Rollins' run as champion, or CrossFit Jesus, as people have been calling him today.
What did you call it?
CrossFit Jesus.
So, CrossFit Jesus' problem was the booking.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Seth had some booking issues, like some big booking issues, but at least they dealt with it towards the end.
Yeah, but too little too late.
But it's too late. It's too late to start sorting things out 4 months down the line, let's be honest.
Agreed, so hopefully they're going to keep up with Reigns right from the get-go. I mean, already I looked at Reigns and went, wow, that's a champion.
Well, yeah, I mean, they came swinging back from, god-awfulness Like, seriously, the tater tot comment?
Yeah, yeah. I wondered if that was a quick punishment for something he's maybe done or said. You know, they did it
No,
last year with Suffer and Succotash and all that shit. But
that was a legitimate case if they wanted the crowd to chant tater tots, and it didn't work. But then, you know,
I could think of 100 other things to say in that moment. Tater tots is not even among the top
oh,
50.
I'd have just said potato.
yeah, I mean that's exactly it. I mean, they just wanted it to be a racist stereotype, and Vince
Yeah.
got his way again. So
Well, the problem that you've got is, you know, the crowd knows when it's being screwed and when it's not being screwed. I mean, look at the Rumble.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, crowds are smarter than people give them credit for being. Their IQ isn't 5.
well, we're not always in Kentucky.
So, some members of the crowd have an IQ of 5.
See what I did there?
Tonight's crowd at NXT did not have an IQ of 5.
No, they really did not. However, we can't talk about NXT because not a lot of people have seen it yet.
God damn, that's not
I know
my
it
fault.
sucks. Chris, just as a
Well, you
generalization though, without giving spoilers, how was it?
Fantastic. The crowd, I know a lot of people don't like the crowd to be the show, but the crowd kind of was the show in some ways. Oh yeah, and don't watch the show with young children. Probably not a good idea unless it's edited.
Yeah, unless they edit that show, definitely put the kids to bed.
Same goes for next week's NXT. Do not watch that show with kids unless we know that they've edited it. Really, really shouldn't.
But this is the thing, is that the UK crowd is always a good crowd.
Oh, they were
yeah.
a very good crowd. I mean, from watching that show tonight, they were, I don't know, how would you put it, Chris? I would say electric, maybe even vibrant, definitely different.
I think the crowd here is there to have fun, not so much to... We're there to watch, but we're there to have fun as well.
I think the American crowds take it for granted.
Yeah, what I was about to say is because, you know, we get wrestling, the main roster comes here twice a year. We have, the first time ever seeing NXT, I think that for a lot of people, because we don't get it as often, it's a bigger deal when we do get to see it.
Yeah. And I know people don't want to hear this, but even when TNA goes over, they get better crowds than they do in the States.
Oh, absolutely. I'm probably going to go to TNA's Kurt Angle departure tour just for the fact that it's Kurt Angle's departure tour in Birmingham.
Yeah.
I mean, TNA always get great crowds. When they're in Glasgow, they almost sold out the same as what NXT did. And to me, that's an impressive statement, you know?
See, I think TNA should relocate to the UK.
Let me say something quickly. Tonight's crowd was apparently 10,000.
Wow.
Looking around, I could see maybe one or two individual seats that was... You never saw two empty seats next to each other.
Wow.
If you saw an empty seat, it was amongst a crowd of 100-something filled seats. It was literally filled for the most part.
See, that's awesome. It's nice to see, because I know during Glasgow they cordoned off quite a large area of the upper arena. Almost like a SmackDown taping.
They did that for the live event at Birmingham. There was an upper section that was kind of taped off on one side of the arena. And going in tonight, I wasn't sure if there'd be too many empty seats or if, you know, it would be absolutely packed. But I think the only empty seats I really saw were in the obstructed view areas. And even then it wasn't fully... It wasn't fully empty. There were still some people sat in obstructed view areas just peering around the wall in the way.
Obviously, as we go on, we were talking about Raw. How did you guys feel about the segment with the New Day, the Usos, and the Lucha Dragons? There was part of that, to me, was very reminiscent of when Edge and Christian called out the Hardys. And they're like, yeah, we've got respect for you now. Except in that segment, there was genuine respect. I just felt the New Day one was done so perfectly. I mean, what were your thoughts on it, Krista?
I agree. Spot on. Everybody hit their mark. It was fabulous.
And Craig saw them out.
I mean, the fact that they all kind of managed to, I don't want to say play it up a bit and ham it up, but there was definitely mocking tones that were very clear to some people. And others were like, oh, they're giving genuine respect. I'm like, but they're not.
They're not.
It was just
They're
perfect.
They hit their marks. Everything went off great. They looked genuine in their disingenuousness.
Oh, yeah, I mean, for me, the New Day played it up perfectly. Big E was very like, okay, look, guys, straight to the point. Kofi, that's probably the most genuine Kofi sounded in a promo in years.
Three suplexes in a row.
It's probably one of the best promos he's done in years.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he did so much in that promo saying absolutely nothing. And then when he was saying loads, it was like, oh, Kofi can use a microphone again. Like, when did that happen? So for me,
see, that's just it.
Sorry,
He was a good promo person. He was good in his promos.
Well, he's good in some of them.
Who was a good promo, sorry?
We were saying Kofi. Kofi on Monday.
Didn't see that segment.
Okay, well, I mean, basically, the Usos...
Go find it on YouTube, Chris. Go find it on YouTube.
The Usos, the New Day, and the Lucha Dragons all kind of had what I would call like a respect segment, where they kind of gave each other props, and then the New Day hammed it up, they celebrated, and then the other teams attacked. I'm almost seeing this as a face turn for New Day.
Yeah,
I do too.
Yeah, because like,
and I see the Usos doing a heel turn. The Usos need to do a heel turn. Good God,
but
they are so boring.
But to be fair, I said the same thing when Reigns attacked Triple H after TLC. Considering that was completely unprovoked, I was sort of like, oh, did Reigns just heel turn?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I remember saying that to you straight after the show, and you were like, Reigns just turned heel, and I'm like, what? No, he didn't.
The fact that there was no... he wasn't provoked in any way, to me that just looked like a heel turn. That was something I expect the heel...
But it worked well.
True.
I mean, it was so similar to the Steve Austin stuff. Like, Austin used to just snap and attack anyone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it worked for him, surely it'll work for Reigns, right? Right? I mean, right? It's gonna work.
Well, it depends on how well he pulls it off. Because let's face it, it's not the first time they've done the snap and strike. There's not the first time they've done the 5 moves of doom. Hello, John Cena. It all comes down to the wrestler and whether he can pull it off.
I mean, personally, from what I saw on Monday, I think Reigns is going to do great. He played badass babyface really well. He took a kick in the nuts from the boss.
Don't let him talk.
Yeah, the whole silent thing of one sentence and then kicking Vince in the face, that was really good.
Well, see, and if you're portraying him as a badass babyface, he doesn't need words. His actions speak louder than words. And that's even something you could have him say. Somebody's like spouting off, and you could just say, you know what, my actions speak louder than my words, and that's all he has to say.
I'd just like to take this opportunity before Paul gets here to mention something about NXT.
Go ahead.
Okay.
No spoilers.
That's fine, I don't give a shit.
Okay, go ahead.
Entrance.
Oh, tell us.
Do tell you.
Yeah, go for it.
Do tell.
When Balor came out, he was obviously meant to be Jack the Ripper. Someone on Reddit had decided to point out that someone on Reddit said, I hope that he always comes out as heinous criminals. And then someone pointed out that NXT is due for a tour in Germany.
Oh, shit.
Oh, dear.
So that could go down well. But
I mean, I liked his entrance tonight. It was different.
I couldn't fully see it. Obviously, I could see what was on the screen. I could see it when he got to the ring, but I couldn't see him come out of the smoke. I couldn't see him make his way to the ring. No, I mean the blood thing when the blood came down. It looked cool. I mean, obviously he had Big Ben on his back. I managed to see it that much. But I think more people need to do stuff like that. Entrances based on locations.
Oh, yeah, I mean, the stuff worked really well because it was Jack the Ripper. However, my big issue comes just with the fact he still looks like a moron.
He does look like a moron.
The fake hair thing really does my head in. Yeah. Enjoy it. Back with your Balor Club shirt. I can see you in the background. Um, yeah, I mean, tonight's NXT show compared to TLC at the weekend, right? I personally felt both shows were great, but TLC just it stole the show a little bit more just because of the tag match. And seeing that show of respect on Raw, like we were saying, it kind of builds that division a little bit nicer. So I'm hoping continuing with the division, like I was trying to think of
'Cause
teams that could
The tag
work.
division used to be really, really good.
Yeah, I'm
Like, it
thinking
was
of teams
probably
that
one
could
of the
fit there
best
now.
things to watch. Those were the best things to watch on Monday night. I mean, you had the Usos, you had the Dust Brothers, or Cody and Stardust, or sorry, Goldust, when Cody was Cody. Who else was in there?
I mean, technically you had Harper and Rowan, you had the
Harper and
Usos,
Rowan.
the Ascension.
Those guys were
there's
never interesting to watch when they hit the main roster. They were not. NXT, they were really interesting. The minute they got to the main roster and they ended up doing that I Have Horus weird thing, not interesting.
It's interesting.
Now they look like Road Warrior rejects.
Yeah. Well, I actually preferred the Ascension back when they had their dark gothic gimmick, not their current crappy Illuminati BS. But
see, I agree. I liked them when they were in NXT and they had that goth look to them. They were interesting.
Yeah.
Now they're just whatever.
What I was discussing earlier is the fact that it's actually funny because I was discussing Enzo and Cass moving up to the main roster, and it hit me the fact that the single division is in a worse state than the tag division right now.
Mm-hmm.
What, in the main roster?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, you've got everyone in the mid card, as Paul likes to remind us each time we talk about it, and no one really in the upper main event. I mean, right now you've got who? Reigns. You've got Rollins when he comes back.
And Paul would argue those guys being main eventers.
Yeah, but Dean's not there. Dolph's nowhere near ready. Cesaro's not there. Sheamus is in your main event, and that's it.
Well, and this is just it. I mean, you've got these guys. I mean, let's face it. Ambrose will always be mid card. Sorry, but he will. He's mid card.
Yeah. Ambrose is a guy who could have had his moments, but every time the moment could have been there, they've not done it.
Yeah.
And I feel like those moments are going to get fewer and further between now, kind of like with Christian.
Yeah.
There were all these chances they had to make Christian a big thing, and then they never did, and then eventually it just never happened.
Yeah, it's not going to happen for him.
No.
Well, talking about main event stars, I have a question, and I brought this up following Monday. Obviously, there was the line dropped of, my husband asked me not to fire you, so I won't. Do we see Triple H Roman Reigns still at WrestleMania? And if we do, will it be for the belt?
Yeah, it should.
Yep.
Then what happens to the winner of the Royal Rumble?
I don't think it should be the belt. I think Reigns gets screwed at Triple H, at Royal Rumble by Triple H.
Yep.
That should be the story going in. That's a good, logical build into Mania with a good story. Obviously, you can then have the Royal Rumble. I still say have Daniel Bryan be your number 30 surprise entrant. Have him not work as risky of a move set. Keep away from that neck. Don't get anything injured on it.
He doesn't have to win the Rumble. Bryan does not have to win the Rumble. He should be in there short and sweet.
I think he should. I think Bryan should win the Rumble, go on to main event Mania, but he should have his style should be reworked massively. He should be keeping away from that neck. Those drop kicks that he's famous for, I think he needs to move away from because again he's hitting the mat. His head's going back. He needs to protect the neck.
Yeah.
I think he just needs to rework his style a little bit. And it sounds really bad, but his style needs to be a bit more like Punk's, whereby he's a smaller guy who doesn't necessarily just fly everywhere all the time.
Yeah, submissions and technical moves.
Yeah.
But what I was meaning was, if Triple H Reigns is to happen, say they do go for the belt,
they shouldn't.
Does Triple H enter himself into the Rumble and become the biggest heel? I mean, almost a copy of McMahon back in '98.
No.
No.
If Triple H enters the Rumble, I will actually I don't know. I will stop watching the main roster fully.
I've just got this great image in my head of the League of Nations aiding Triple H in winning.
I can see the League of Nations helping Triple H at Mania.
Yeah,
He has them in his corner, and then I don't even know. You can have Reigns' family in his corner. Reigns keeps getting screwed into SummerSlam, so you have the same build that Bryan had. You have the same amount of time that Bryan had, because that's clearly what they want to do. They want to get the crowd behind him. That's how you do it. You keep screwing him over and over and over, and you have the big moment, be at SummerSlam. You can even have the Shield be the ones to help him, so it's a Shield reunion. Everyone gets what the hell they want, and Reigns becomes champion.
I don't know, man. I still see it happening at Mania.
I do too.
I don't think it should.
I mean, your only other winners, logically, for the Rumble this year are Bryan, Brock, or even Bray.
I wouldn't say Bray.
No, I know, but that's at a push. I mean, no one else could realistically win that Rumble this year. So you're looking at Brock, Triple H, or Bryan.
I could see Cena coming back for the Rumble.
Cena Taker.
And winning another one? Yeah, I think it's going to be Cena Taker, but how many Rumbles has Cena won? 2 or 3?
Bryan hasn't actually won a Rumble yet. That needs to be pointed out, by the way.
Yeah. How many Cena won, though?
Too many.
Too many.
So probably 3.
2 or 3, yeah. Like I said, too many.
So, I mean, even if he has done that, you could feasibly bring Cena in and say, like, look, I don't want my shot at Reigns. I want my shot at Taker.
Yep, I could see them doing that.
No. Taker. No. Just no.
Oh, I think Cena Taker is going to happen.
It's a waste of an entire Rumble. Using the entire pay-per-view as you're essentially using it as bullshit.
They did it with Shawn Michaels before. So
it's Deus Ex Machina bullshit. It's plot hole. It's plot armor to protect Cena and him in a way that, because to me, if you can't write it without using the Rumble, it's lazy writing. If you have to have him win the Rumble to say, oh, well, he gets to choose his opponent, that's not how the Rumble works. The Rumble has always been for the title. I feel like, saying, oh, well, he's won the Rumble, now he gets to pick his opponent. No. You don't pick to fight The Undertaker 9 times out of 10. He picks to fight you.
This is true.
Actually, I'm going to correct you guys on something. John Cena's only won the Rumble twice.
Oh, so it's possible he could win a third then.
2008 and 2013.
I did say 2 or 3.
Yeah, you did. So it's possible he could win a third then.
No.
I mean, no one's done it more than 3 times.
No one should do it more than 3 times.
No, I agree. No one should probably do it more than twice, but especially Cena, he doesn't need it.
Actually, only nobody's won it 3 times.
I thought Austin did.
No, Shawn Michaels won it twice. Stone Cold won it 3 times. Twice back to back, and then the last one was 2001.
Yeah. And that was
even Trips has only won it once.
Which is why I'm thinking he could win this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I am really, really, really tempted to say Ambrose.
What, and have Ambrose reign into Mania?
I can see Rollins coming back.
No,
have Ambrose. Not yet.
Rollins won't be back until after May.
Right.
I mean, he's definitely injured until at least May. That would be the quickest they could bring him back.
So he's out of Mania.
Yep, out of Mania. Orton's out until, like, next Mania. So...
If he wrestles again at all.
Yeah, if he wrestles again at all. Same with Bryan. Do you know what's really interesting to me, though, is, like, everyone brings out these big names coming into Mania season, and we all forget about the part-timers, which we're going to get into a second. Guys, that brings us halfway through the show. Don't forget, if you're listening, please give us a like, share, and subscribe over on YouTube. Anytime that you share it helps us help build the Low family. Don't forget as well, if you're listening on Podbean, you can download our app from the Google Store. You get that on all Android devices at the moment. You'll hear ourselves, Mind of Carnage, Just Saying, Ringside Ramblers, and the Wrestle Addicts. You can hear us on Spreaker and iTunes as well. And if you want to feel really generous, you can head over to tpublic.com/users/levels of wrestling, pick up some merchandise, and help the Low family expand by doing some advertising. It's fantastic.
Please record that shit for the future.
We really do, and if not, Paul can strip it off the middle of a show. Guys, like I was saying, we're now part-way through the show, so I want to know which part-way stars or part-time stars you think could show up for this WrestleMania season.
Obviously, you've got Brock. Obviously, you've got Taker. Sting, I can see staying out because he's pretty screwed, to be honest.
I could see Jericho.
Oh, I can't see Jericho.
Who else can I see?
Yeah, as John's just pointed out, if you check his Fozzie's touring schedule, if Fozzie's touring, he ain't coming back.
Fair enough.
This is the problem that they've got. I mean, you need to build... Yeah, expect them to bring up 2 or 3 NXT people at the Rumble, by the way.
Well, I think Corbin's going to be one of them, but as far as...
God, really? Ew.
No, you see, watch NXT tonight. You'll understand why.
I guarantee you, Balor as the Demon will appear, or Hideo Itami will appear in the Rumble.
Itami's not doing that again until they sort out his storyline.
Yep.
Who's that?
Itami.
Well, okay, how about Zayn?
Zayn's possible.
No.
I don't see it, though.
I don't see it either. I see him being in the kind of top guy in NXT, and that's where he is.
Yeah, I mean, if the belt had still been on Owens, I would have said bring him up.
Yeah.
No, to be fair, as it's just been pointed, well, Balor's the top guy, but as it's just been pointed out, something to mention tonight, and I'm not sure how well it will translate to NXT next week. It was rather concerning in the match that we saw tonight with Zayn. I'm not sure if they were working the shoulder or not, but he was holding his shoulder, and Zayn's that good at standing, I couldn't tell if he was legitimately hurt or if he was just standing like a boss.
I'll tell you in advance. He was selling. He did the same in Glasgow.
He did the same in Glasgow then. Apparently he didn't do it like that in Nottingham. Like it.
Oh well. What I will say though is Baron Corbin could be your part-time guy coming up. Keep an eye on him over the next few weeks on NXT. He's severely improved, which is incredible to think. But as far as part-time guys go, like probably Brock is the only one I can actually see coming back. Maybe Taker if they decide to have a match with him. But he doesn't need to have a match. He could just have a WrestleMania moment. I mean, it's in his hometown. So they don't need to give him a full match.
I'm almost tempted to say bring Goldberg back.
Goldust,
I wouldn't be
did you say?
surprised if Goldberg.
Oh, God, no. Ugh.
As we all look at him horrified.
Yeah, no, Goldberg, that's a terrible thought. My skin crawls at the thought of that. Like, he didn't want to be there in the first place, they didn't use him right, and then when they did get a hold of him, it was just a case of like, hey, look, you're going against Brock. What? You're leaving? Oh, no. You know, they didn't think about it at all.
No, they didn't.
And
he damaged a few guys along the way, so...
I'll say going into Mania, you can also expect to see Cody Rhodes come back, and you'll also probably see Sandow and Axel again.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about Cody last week. The idea that Cody comes out first, or Stardust comes out first, whichever. But you'll see both Cody and Stardust in the Rumble.
Yeah, Stardust gets eliminated, goes back, and Cody comes out.
Yep.
That would actually make the Rumble for me.
Honestly, I would love to see Goldust be the one to eliminate Stardust. Be like, hey, look, I eliminated you, and then 2 minutes later, Cody Rhodes comes back, and I'm like, no, I eliminated you.
Goldust or Titus?
Oh, God. No more Titus.
Not Titus.
I'm sick of Titus Claus.
Yeah, I don't really want Titus in the Rumble at all.
Speaking of Titus, we did see Darren Young back, so there's at least your tag team again.
See, I liked the primetime players.
Yeah, you could have the primetime players, a good face tag team alongside New Day, while the Usos and the Lucha Dragons are heels.
Yeah, see, and I think that'd be good.
And you could tell Vince was back this week, though.
Let's be honest, Darren Young does not make a convincing heel. He doesn't.
I'd just like to point out, I was saying earlier, it's almost as though Vince doesn't watch Raw.
I'm sure he
Because
doesn't watch Raw.
Because when Vince is there, the show suddenly gets better, not just in his segments, but in all segments.
Yep. What got me was you could tell Vince was back this week because the Mexican team turned heel. He went, "Hey, we don't see your faces. You're Mexican, and guess what? You're bad guys now. Good times." He does it every time there's a Mexican on TV. Like Eddie was heel for a long time. The only one that I can't remember was Ray.
Ray was kind of a tweener.
Yeah,
he was
that's only because he got booed at the end of the Rumble.
Ray was mostly face because the kids loved him.
Yep.
And all the kids bought his merch.
Something that's just been pointed out to me on Reddit by John. Somebody mentioned Big E being the most charismatic guy and potentially having a big singles face run.
Booty!
He had a singles run.
Could we see Big E win the Royal Rumble?
No, Big E's going to be your Money in the Bank guy next year, and they're going to hotcake that briefcase. They're going to make that.
Free Bird Rolls with a briefcase.
Yeah, you're damn right. And Xavier's going to cash it in, and Big E's going to snap. If Xavier cashes it in, Big E snaps, he turns face, and it's like, for a minute, Xavier Woods becomes your WWE champion, but Big E beats the shit out of him for it. I can almost feel John going, why? But that's
why?
John sat here going, that is fantastic.
Well, this is why I should be working for them, but I'm not.
No, but Mick Foley's son is.
Oh, don't even get me started on Dewey Foley, son of a bitch. Yeah, I'm sure he'll be great. He'll help creative a lot. Good for him.
Who is this?
What did help creative this week, like you said, Chris, was Vince being on TV. Vince being in lots of segments, playing the asshole heel again. He's a really good heel boss, and I forgot just how good he could be. Him sitting at ringside and yelling at the bell guy, saying, "No, I want that chair," was genius.
I have to admit, Vince does a better job of... Everyone says Steph is the best heel in the business, and I say Vince is the best heel in the business.
Actually, and Vince is the best heel in the business, and I think Vicky Guerrero was the best heel in the business.
No, Vicky was so good at getting heat.
Vicky got heat for the
wrong... good.
Vicky was like Eva Marie. She got heat for the wrong reasons.
There's no such thing as bad heat, damn it.
There's no such thing as bad heat. And when she had to be the heel, she went all out.
However, there is such thing as good heat, because look at The Miz.
Oh, The Miz is the best. Oh, poor Miz. Miz and Neville, that segment, man, that is going to go far. And they need to get to it quick.
Yep.
Yeah, they can't have another Miz Sandow situation where Sandow gets over and they do nothing with it. I'll say this much. Miz is good at making stars.
Yeah, he is. Daniel Bryan, Alex Riley, oh, wait. Then he had, John Morrison, oh, wait, no. I'm pretty sure at some point he was teaming with Dolph Ziggler. Oh, no, wait, no, shit. Sorry, you did say good stars, right?
Hey, I like Joe Mo.
Hey, John Morrison was good.
He was really good.
Unfortunately, he screwed up. Alex Riley was good. Unfortunately, he, fucked up.
Pissed off Cena.
Dolph Ziggler was great until he got, 3 concussions in a fucking row.
Yeah.
Concussion King, Dolph Ziggler.
As presented by Del Rio.
Not doing much. And
as presented by Del Rio.
He's not doing much.
Yeah,
because they can't afford to.
The Miz is great, though, at the moment. This whole not having Miz wrestle has worked so well for him. Miz TV segments have never been more relevant, I swear. And I like that they're playing up on the whole Adrian Neville, hey, you're a great wrestler, but guess what? You've got no fucking charisma. Let me help you with that. I made Daniel Bryan a star. If they really considered it, they can turn this on its ass and make Neville, a nice little, almost heel. He could be a really good, creepy heel.
I think Neville would be an excellent heel.
Could you imagine, him trying to have charisma and smile, and it comes across as, the creepiest grin?
And they should stop slicking back his hair and let him have that afro that he used to have.
What, Neville with his afro, or Miz?
Neville.
Oh, Neville with his hair when it's dry, it just looks kind of dire. It's almost like someone went, "Hey Neville, guess what? You're the scared lion from The Wizard of Oz."
I have something that needs to be pointed out.
Go ahead.
Roman Reigns is the only wrestler to have wrestled all 12 pay-per-views this year.
Correct, and he's good at it.
That's debatable.
He's doing better than he used to, let's be honest. I would say definitely most improved guy over the last year, and he's probably going to win Superstar of the Year.
Yeah, but come
Probably.
on. Superstar of the Year has been biased.
It's voted by people.
They actually made it almost impossible for Bryan to win by screwing up the voting system, and he still managed to win.
Yep. But this year they've done it by votes, by tweets, and by Instagram, etc. So
yeah,
Roman Reigns could win.
Good. Slammy Awards, they need to bring out John Laurinaitis to talk about how it's people power.
I would love a Laurinaitis turn up on TV. I wonder if I can.
So cool.
You gotta speak like you had 50 cigarettes. This is the fucking worst thing that he's ever done. Like, he doesn't speak like that. Why do they make him do it?
Really, it's not his fault.
Well, yeah, true.
Come on. He did have a guy basically destroy his neck.
They did it to Kane, and Kane talks fine.
That's debatable.
All right. Let's not get down Kane. How do we feel about Tommy Dreamer being back?
Tommy Dreamer. I don't mind Tommy Dreamer only because I've seen Paul Heyman's documentary. So obviously I know about the creative process of Tommy Dreamer's part in. I don't have a problem with Tommy being back. Using Rhino, I think, was a bit cheap. Hey, we're gonna give a young buck from NXT a chance. Let's call up Rhino.
But the best thing about Rhino was the fact that he was the last ECW champion.
True.
He's also the most expendable of the bunch.
Yeah, I bring back Spike Dudley, the Giant Killer. Spike Dudley versus Braun Strowman.
Yeah, I mean, we said this last week and Paul freaked out about it.
Speaking of which, where is Paul?
I'm assuming Paul has family stuff on, so.
Okay, because
I'm in a hotel room. I'm in a hotel room with two.
Chris, whatever you're doing in a hotel room with two people that we don't know is your choice. I know they're probably listening too, so hi guys. Enjoy Chris. Take care of him. I'm not quite sure how I felt about that. For those listening, they were getting action in that hotel room. It was almost like when Goldust and Booker T bumped into each other in a hotel room. That's right. Those of you who remember that are already cringing. Obviously, Tommy Dreamer being back, to me, is like it's a nice little thing. How long does it last? Because it's making the Dudley Boys somehow more irrelevant. It just makes them look super old.
I'd just like to point out the fact that the promo that they cut in Philadelphia, the backstage segment, arguably between them and the Wyatts, I would say it's the best backstage promo stuff we've seen this year.
Yeah, easily. I mean, that nice little thing where they were like, it looked almost like a street, but it looked backstage. It was nice.
But I also love the fact that the Wyatts were like, we will bury you in the city where you started.
And they did.
And I was like, well, the Wyatts just don't my respect again.
I mean, I like it.
You know, and if anything, I mean, you can see why they pitted them against, some of the ECW originals, guys like Tommy Dreamer, who are pretty much workhorses. Do I see, like, Tommy Dreamer sticking around? No, I don't. He's got House of Hardcore that he's running. He's got a bunch of indie stuff he's got on his plate. I don't see him being a long-term thing with WWE.
No, I think he's there till the Rumble.
Yep.
Yeah, probably.
He's doing a Jericho. He's come in to work with some of the stars, kind of help them put them over, give them some new blood to wrestle with.
Some new day.
Some new angles to work with, and then he'll be gone after Rumble. I could see him being in the Rumble because everybody likes their cameos.
I say take him in the Rumble, give him a candlestick, and let him go nuts for 3 minutes, and then throw him out.
Yep. He doesn't have to win. And they could even make it a bigger Rumble instead of 30, because, I mean, they did the one year where there was 40.
Oh, God, that was bad, though. I mean, that was the year we had to sit through Mick Foley, then we sat through all three commentators. Who else came back? Diesel. You know, there was a bunch of irrelevant shit went on. But, you know, it's possible they could do it again, and I really hope they don't. I like my Rumbles like I like my weekends. Full of 30 men.
I honestly think that Rumble...
Full of 30 men. Jesus.
You heard?
I think the Rumble at this point needs to be the catalyst going into Mania. It needs to set up almost every feud going into Mania.
That was the whole point of the Rumble. That was the start of, you know, Road to WrestleMania was the Rumble.
Yeah, this is the start of point at Big Sign season.
You look at last year and how many feuds came out. Oh wait, one.
Yep. I mean, this year hopefully they can nail it. But
you know, if you're going to do Owens Lesnar, you have that happen in the Rumble. If you're going to do Cody Rhodes and Goldust, you have that happen in the Rumble. If you're going to do pretty much anything you want to do, really, you have it happen in the Rumble. Yeah. There's no point in having a huge pay-per-view, which is an annual event that starts the road to WrestleMania, and have one thing come out of it. That'd be poor. That'd be terrible.
Yeah.
It would also be events.
There's a lot of potential there for good feuds. However, there's a lot of shit there that we don't need them touching. Key example, I don't need to sit through 3 more months of Jack Swagger versus Alberto Del Rio.
No.
No, thanks.
Which, that's the obvious feud to go for. I mean, they've already started it. So, who faces Del Rio now?
Jack Swagger needs to be future endeavored.
I mean, is it going to be Cena versus Del Rio again for the US title? I hope not.
I hope not.
John Cena. For now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Could it be, though? Because I don't want to see that all the way till Mania either.
This is the thing, though, is that with Cena being gone as long as he's going to be gone, this is forcing creative to rely on everybody else on the roster because it's not going to be John Cena carrying.
Oh no, creative have to do that job.
Yeah.
I'll book it for them. I'm all good for that. Hey, Paul, how we doing?
Good, how's it going?
Good. You timed it well, so we're about 15 minutes left. Because we can't talk about NXT because a lot of people haven't seen it yet.
Right.
We're literally talking about feuds that we don't want to see going into Mania.
Triple H
right now,
and Roman.
Yeah, you're gonna get it. Deal with it. The one we're talking about just now is Del Rio. Del Rio Cena.
No thanks. I'll pass.
What? No.
Yep. Well, this is what we're saying. I mean, you've got 3 months now, and we don't want to see Swagger or Del Rio again. And Cena was rumored to be against Del Rio. I mean, they're not going to do that the whole way till Mania, surely.
No, because that's not a Mania match. You do that after Mania. Cena's too big of a name to be out there with lazy-ass Del Rio.
But who else steps up to lazy? Sorry,
who else gets to go with Cena?
No. I was going to say who steps up to Del Rio because he's the one slagging off America again, doing the whole Mexico's better, I'm better. So who steps up to that? Because you haven't got anyone patriotic anymore.
Ryback.
Oh, God.
Yeah, look at that. Solved that problem,
big
didn't
guy.
No, I just died inside. Jesus.
I mean, honestly, I could see Del Rio even losing the title before then. Hopefully he does.
Mm-hmm.
How about Curtis Axel? You can square up against Curtis Axel.
No.
Oh, let's do it against Sandow. There we go.
No, we're good. Those things aren't real.
Those things aren't real. Paul, how do you feel about Roman Reigns winning this week? Obviously, we've all discussed it so far, so what's your thoughts?
It couldn't have been more perfect. I mean, to me, There is not another person on the active roster, and maybe only a handful in wrestling history, that could have done what he did on Sunday. I mean, he took this completely hostile crowd that was chanting for "We want Cena," and by the end of the night, they were cheering for him. Every single one of them on their feet, cheering. It was absolutely amazing. I was a little bit worried that they may have waited too long to put the belt on him, but they switched things up midstream. They knew that Samoan Cena wasn't going to work. So they switched it up. They made him just this complete badass. They turned him into Samoan Steve Austin, and that's a lot better fit for him.
Yeah,
right, and
absolutely.
do you not think it's kind of funny? We were saying, like, hey, they could turn the Ambrose character into the Steve Austin, and they've gone and done it with Reigns instead.
Right. Yeah, Dean Ambrose, I mean, he's a lazy man's Brian Pillman.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go, Chris. That's your comparison. You were talking about it the other day.
Yeah, there you go. Brian Pillman, if he stuck his tongue out a lot and did the same 3 moves over and over again.
Yeah, because that's basically all Dean Ambrose does, is he does dirty deeds and then 2 other whatever they are.
Yeah.
Well,
So, yeah,
I mean,
but I mean, it was just an absolutely perfect moment. I mean, it was so good that brought back Vince McMahon for it. I mean, just to put the cherry on top of it, you had Vince out there as well. So I mean, it was perfect. It was just a great time. It just felt perfect. That was his moment, and it was wonderful. Can't complain. Yeah. It's fun to be a wrestling fan.
So let me ask the obvious question: does Roman hold the belt until Mania?
Oh, he holds it till next Mania. You put that belt on him, you do it for a year.
Yep.
See, I've been saying this too, and I would like to think that they're not going to be silly, and they're not going to take it off him just after Mania like they always do. I
can't even think of someone that would be healthy that could
hold
take the
it.
belt off him.
Yeah, I mean, feasibly right now, who could he face? I mean, yeah, obviously we were talking about Triple H. There's going to be a Sheamus rematch.
Yeah, you do Sheamus at the Rumble.
Uh-huh.
And then Triple H,
you can miss
either do that
Fastlane.
at Mania. Well, Triple H isn't doing Fastlane, so
That's
I mean,
what I'm saying. You can miss Fastlane if needs be.
Right. Yeah, you do some kind of... You could do a tag match or something there. I mean, you're obviously not going to have him defend the title there, so...
I mean...
And Triple H obviously isn't working Fastlane. So,
no, he won't be working Fastlane.
Yeah.
The only way he works Fastlane is to show up, make an appearance, and leave. Screw Roman out of his match.
Yeah.
Right. Which is fine at that point. I mean, you could see him work. We could see Roman even work double duty at Mania. I mean, it's not the first time. So.
Well, I'm hoping they're not going to do that. I really hope they won't do that.
I hope not
feel
either.
I feel it's a little too close to the last time, but it's possible.
Yeah, but I mean, if they're in a hurry to hotshot, Triple H versus Roman, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, this is why I hate. This is why I think that it's time to move on past Royal Rumble winner gets the automatic title shot.
Yeah.
You see, I said that earlier, and Chris got a little upset.
Oh, no, I've been saying it for a long time. I mean, how does it make sense that you get a shot at the title by throwing people over the top rope? I mean,
and let's face it, the last couple Royal Rumbles, people have cheated. I mean, look at the last one that Miz won. He cheated.
Did he?
He hung out. Yeah, he hung out until everybody was cleared. It was just Dolph Ziggler, and then he snuck back into the ring and eliminated Dolph Ziggler because technically Miz didn't go over the top rope.
So what you mean is he used the rules to his advantage. He didn't cheat.
Yeah, that's not cheating. That's a heel being
That's clever
a heel.
booking. That's some Jerry Lawler kind of booking.
Yes, but I mean, and did Miz get a shot at the title? No, he did not.
No, that's a battle royal. I don't know.
I mean, I would love to think that they could use the Rumble for something better, still to say. I mean, I don't know what you could call better when they put the belt as such a high pedestal.
You let them be the challenger for the pay-per-view after Mania.
Yeah, and they get to choose their opponent for Mania.
They get to main event another pay-per-view, or SummerSlam, or Survivor Series.
Or they get to go one-on-one with the Undertaker player.
Oh God, no! Then we'll end up with something like Dolph Ziggler against the Undertaker, and
Or
no
John
thanks.
Cena versus the Undertaker. Yeah, I'll let that go, Dad.
Yeah, because that's what it deserves. Yeah, because I don't think
Yeah.
Undertaker. Because number one, I don't think Undertaker's done, and
I think he was in too good a shape to be
Taker
done.
lose again at Mania.
I think the only way Taker loses at Mania, like I said, now is if Cena cheats.
Yeah, but then that turns him heel, and they're not turning him heel.
Well, he doesn't
And
need
this
to
is the
turn
thing
heel.
is that
but-
the Undertaker already lost at Mania, so it's not a big friggin' deal.
Yeah, but
but
it still is.
It is when it's career versus
It's
career.
not. Ugh. Yeah, but then it's a foregone conclusion that Undertaker will lose because, let's face it, Taker's in his 50s.
Right, so you have that assumption, and then you have Cena cheat to win. Like, get a quick roll-up. Imagine the booze and the heat that Cena gets.
They won't do that to Cena. He does too many Make-A-Wish. He does too much.
Yeah, but that's why Mr. Samoan Superman's here.
Can I jump back a step?
Yeah, good.
No. I
I'll
can't see
jump back.
Cena end in his career as a heel.
Indeed. Chris, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, if I could jump back a sec to what you were saying about Reigns, the punch to Vince apparently wasn't in the script, so apparently he may be in trouble for that.
If it was, that's genius. He knew what he was doing.
Well, yeah, but you know what Vince is like.
Vince will love that shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if anything, Vince loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact he had to lie, the bit he won't like is probably pushing him off the apron at the end.
Oh, you know what? I'm sure he even liked that. I mean, Vince gets off on that shit of, men being men. He loves that stuff. He doesn't like it when you say no, but if you take your liberties to go punch him in the face, sure, he loves it.
Let's put it this way:
especially if you increase ratings.
Well, let's put it this way: if Dusty got heat for adding one line into a script, I'm pretty sure Reigns is going to be in some trouble.
Yeah, but the line that was put into Dusty's script was pretty derogatory towards Stephanie.
Yeah, it was.
No,
Wasn't
that's not
to that.
Wasn't it
that's
just when
something
he-
I'd worry about.
I mean, it's not like he mentioned Macho Man or anything, but...
And plus, there's a big difference between Dusty and Roman right now. I mean, Vince has built, 2 years of stories around Roman. He put Dusty in a pair of polka dots. So
And now everyone's
he named
wearing
Virgil after, he named Virgil after Dusty. So I mean, come on, he didn't care for him.
Yeah, well, needless to say, he named Virgil after Dusty, forgetting that Virgil had a 14-inch cock, so... I mean, that backfired a little on him, huh?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. I've watched enough interviews to know it's true.
How about having an NXT guy win the Rumble?
That's never going to happen,
No.
let's not lie.
It would have
What's
to
that?
be. It would have to be some. They would have to have someone like a Nakamura come in to NXT, and then it's not gonna be Finn Balor or
Sami
or
Zayn.
Sami Zayn.
Baron Corbin.
No.
No, Corbin's
No.
not a main eventer. He's not a Mania main eventer. I mean,
You
Not
there
yet.
is.
You haven't seen TakeOver.
I don't care. There's five
Doesn't
guys on
matter.
there's 5 guys on the main roster that could legit main event WrestleMania. Baron Corbin's not one of them. I mean, he's
No.
improved. He's improved leaps and bounds. And there's a chance that he could even there's a chance he could be a world champion.
You know what the
But-
problem is? You know what the problem is with the main roster? Everybody at one point or another who is now... Everybody has been made to look weak at one point or another.
50-50 booking.
Not John Cena.
Yep.
If you want someone to win the Rumble and make it look convincing and go into Mania, you need to have somebody who looks strong. What better way to do it than to have somebody who has a clean straight and make them look like an absolute monster?
Yeah,
They
but
did
it's
that
an
last
unknown.
year with...
But
Look-
that's an
look at
unknown
Strowman.
commodity. Unknown commodity.
Look at when Strowman came up. Strowman came up and although everyone mocked him, he was made to look incredibly strong. And as a result, he still looks strong.
Yeah, he's a mess though.
Yeah, he is a mess.
How?
Did you not see his
Where
little,
do we start?
his little soiree outside the ring with Bubba on Sunday? I mean,
Yeah.
the guy, the guy can barely execute a punch. No,
Yeah.
this is Mania. This is
Which
your
would be
main
great.
event.
Which is
This
great.
is why he was put with Bubba, because if he botched,
Which is great,
he's
but he
with
wasn't in
someone
NXT for
who
long for a
wasn't gonna
reason.
screw up.
Which is great, but he wasn't in NXT for long. Someone like
Yeah.
Corbin, who's been there for years, would be great.
You see, usually I would kind of agree. I like Corbin, and I see him coming up to the main roster. I don't see him doing a Rumble win this year.
No.
I'll say this year because who knows in future, right? But what I will say is that if it was going to be someone from NXT, it would either need to be a huge name. Samoa Joe is probably the only one that would have any legitimacy there, but they're not
Yeah.
going to let him main event at Mania because he's not a WWE guy.
No.
And he's fat.
Yeah, well, I mean,
And
that's
he's
the issue
old.
with that. Well, so's Undertaker, but he main evented Mania 27 with Edge.
Yeah.
No,
But-
Joe's like the same age as Cena. So
You
But
bet,
he's
Chris?
not in good. But he's not in good shape. This is the thing.
Oh,
Samoa Joe is not in
great.
good shape.
Oh,
Shit, he looks great.
he does. He's motivated. He looks good.
Joe's in the best shape he's been in years, let's be honest.
Yeah, he looks real good.
Fair enough.
I
But
mean,
he's still
he
not a
looked-
main eventer. He's still not a Mania main eventer.
Yeah,
No.
Mania main
End of
eventer,
story.
I agreed.
He's a
I mean,
mid-carder at best.
Okay, so ideally, who do you see facing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania at this point?
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, huh?
That's what I got.
Lesnar or Daniel Bryan are my two only options.
Okay.
I'll take
that.
authority, shaved head, clean shaven Daniel Bryan. You make him look like he did in Ring of Honor.
No, you put him in a ponytail and have him all yucky and a sellout and kind of greasy. You kind of do what you did with Seth Rollins. Because I think
No one
he could
is
pull
going to
that off.
believe that he's going to be this slimy dude, that he's going to be porking Brie Bella. That's just
That's-
not
no,
going to
no, no.
happen.
No,
You
that
let-
makes it even more viable. You play that up like the
you let
authority
that
bought
happen.
them both off.
Oh man, ideally, in an ideal world, I would throw both Bellas in there and Cena with Bryan. But that's in an ideal world, but that's not going to happen. But I mean, you could have sleazy Daniel Bryan sell out and have the only reason.
Yeah, sleazy Daniel Bryan, perfect word for him.
I mean, the only way he was allowed to wrestle again is if he agreed to do it.
There you go. You can even say, you know what, it was my idea. You can even have him say, you know what, it was my idea. I came to the authority with this.
I would like that. I'll take it.
Only reason I got cleared
I
is because I brought in my own doctor.
Well, but this is the thing, is that, I don't know if that would work or not, because he was so anti-authority for the longest time, and now he's siding with them. Like, would people buy that?
Yep. Yeah, he's good enough that he would make it work.
Fair enough.
It's just one of those things. It's like, now who's the legit star ready to face Reigns? The only name that comes to my mind on the roster is Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
And
Or Cena.
Yeah, or Cena, but people... I don't see them doing Cena already. That would be like SummerSlam.
Right, because I mean, Cena still has one more title reign left in him, at least.
Yeah, oh, yeah, he's got to
don't-
reach the 16.
Well, do they want him to tie with the Nature Boy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least tie with him. Lammy, we're just talking about who could face Roman Reigns realistically at Mania.
Triple H, not title.
Okay, but for the title, if he's holding it?
No one. He shouldn't be holding the title.
At Mania, you think?
No, I don't think he should.
Okay.
If you really want to get a crowd behind him, you have to do what you did with Bryan and drag that story out. You drag that out to at least SummerSlam.
I mean, technically they've already dragged the story out at least 3 months now. I mean, he got screwed by Wyatt back in like Money in the Bank.
Hold on, get the crowd behind him. They're they're behind him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Philly were really behind him, surprisingly.
And that's the thing is if Philly, like if you have a major center like Philly behind someone they booed at the last pay-per-view that was in town, Royal Rumble.
I'm not sure what.
Pretty like that's a feather in Reigns' cap. It really is. That he now has this rather picky crowd behind him.
Yeah, but I'm not sure why. But when it comes to Mania, I'm not a big fan of champions successfully defending at Mania.
Really?
Yeah, I really don't see it as. To me, Mania is your yearly payoff. It is your annual payoff. You don't have an annual payoff if you're going in with the same you come out with the same champion you had going in.
Yeah, but then it makes it as predictable as Money in the Bank winner will eventually get that title. I mean, this is the face going in with the odds against him, this super heel challenger, whoever it is, and he holds them off.
Well, and this is just it. I mean, Sheamus defended his at TLC.
In that case,
and there's been tons of champions that have successfully defended their titles at Mania.
Well, in that case,
not necessarily the world title, but title.
Well, in that case, I say, all right, keep the belt on Reigns, whatever. Don't have it be Triple H. Triple H enter in the Rumble. I will find him and I will put a bullet in his heart.
I wouldn't say that live on the air.
Yeah, well, now we've got a culprit.
Hey, he's just on the road. Come on. He literally is on the road. Holy shit. Yeah, it's probably on his plane
So who would you pick then if he was still with the belt and not Triple H?
Heel Daniel Bryan.
There we go.
It depends whether or not you want to turn Reigns heel.
No, you got to do heel Daniel Bryan.
If you're gonna keep Reigns as a face, then yeah, it's got to be either heel Daniel Bryan, or you have to have heel Cena. You have to have. I want to say Lesnar. It's been done. I'm not a fan of having Lesnar be that guy again. Especially not if you want Reigns to defend it at Mania and successfully. That's just stupid as hell. Yeah, Conor McGregor. I don't know. I can't see anyone that Reigns can really defend against without. Lesnar would not do it because Lesnar's a businessman and he understands that his name is business. He wouldn't jeopardize his business. I'm not saying he wouldn't do business, but he wouldn't do that part of business. I don't know, because you've got no big names. You don't have Rollins. You don't have anyone. You had Sheamus as your champion, for Christ's sake. He's the biggest heel in the company at the moment. That's saying something. You don't have anyone that can be a convincing heel for Reigns because they have this mentality of pushing one person in the universe at a time.
That was pretty much straight to the point. I mean, there is a lot of issues with the main roster at the moment, especially when it comes to main event heels and main event talent, actually. Hopefully they can deal with it before Mania. Hopefully. If not, I expect to see a lot of part-timers. I'm looking at you, Brock. Because as far as I'm aware, he doesn't have a movie to promote this year. And he's always got a movie to promote. Always.
Who is this?
I'm sure he could find another Fast and Furious to make.
The Rock.
I think he's got something coming out.
I mean, The Rock versus Reigns could be a decent match, but...
I can't see that happening.
No, neither can I. Not unless he's corporate.
Yeah.
I would actually... there was somebody who I was thinking would be cool to see in a suit. I can't remember who it was.
Daniel Bryan?
Bryan's one of them. There was somebody else.
Titus O'Neil?
No, again, if you're going to have a big heel go for Reigns, I'd have it be Corbin.
In a suit? No.
No.
I would bring Corbin up and I would have him match Reigns' record for eliminations in the Rumble. Not beat it, but match it. He's not a small guy. I mean, I know he doesn't have muscle on his abs. His abs are probably the only part of his body that don't have much definition now. But he's not a small guy by any means necessary. I think that if he did it and he had the attitude that he has on NXT, I think it would come across rather convincingly. Whereby you could even say that they were cut from the same cloth.
Would you say that then, theoretically, Corbin would have to lose?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So wouldn't that devalue the point of him coming up?
No, because on Raw, the next night, you have him beat the holy hell out of as many people as you can. You have him stand off against Lesnar.
Ugh. Wow.
Yeah.
You
That's
don't
a
have them
quick
fight,
move.
you don't have them have a match, but you have a point where he is tearing things up, and the roster comes out to stop him, the way that they did with Lesnar and Taker, and Lesnar is the only one who can stop it, who basically stands in front of him and makes him back down.
I mean, I won't lie, it's a good way of making a character, making someone look strong. Do I see it with Corbin yet? No. But I could see it in time.
I mean, if you bring him up for the Rumble, you give him a great showing at the Rumble, give him a great showing, and then you just put him on this nice undefeated streak. You can do that up to like mid-July, and then you can kind of gauge the landscape, and then you can kind of think about putting him against Roman at SummerSlam. I mean, because by that time, that's, 9-10 months of building this guy up and making him look great. None of this 50-50 booking bullshit. You keep him undefeated and you keep all his matches under 7 minutes. And and then he got something. But I mean, it's just too short a time between now and Mania.
But what I'm saying is, if you have him come up and consecutively every night on Raw, he finishes his matches in, 2 or 3. Make him feed him squash matches.
Can we let Heyman be his mouthpiece then, so he doesn't have to talk?
Yeah, Heyman be his mouthpiece.
Yes, please.
No, he's a lone wolf. No, he doesn't. No mouthpiece. He's a lone wolf.
Okay.
No. Although one, he's the lone wolf. 2, but there's also the fact that you then have the opportunity to make. I feel like if they try to push somebody now, it's not going to be believable enough. The only guy who's believable.
Yeah, it's too short.
The only 2 people that are believable at this point are heel Bryan and Lesnar. Lesnar's been done. Bryan probably won't be there. You need to find somebody that you can make a star out of.
For once, it sounds like we're all on the same page, which is very nice.
But that's where I think if there's no room with the current roster, you have to bring somebody up or do something new, because otherwise you're stuck with 2 potential people. They've already got plans for Lesnar, and Lesnar's already been done, and like we said, Bryan's screwed because of his neck. You have to bring somebody in to fill that spot, and you have to do it fast, but you have to do it effectively. You have Corbin destroy people on the roster, and I don't mean just people like Curtis Axel. I mean, he does what Lesnar did back when he wanted the match with Triple H, and he comes out in random people's matches and just destroys them. You have him be the one-man nexus. He comes out, he tears people apart, and he walks to the back.
I mean, it would certainly work with, it could work. I mean, it definitely worked with Breaking Ground, the way he's been talking.
Yeah.
It would work with promos he cuts backstage.
If we're just talking about Mania and just building up from right now, one opponent for Mania for Roman, why not Dean Ambrose?
No.
It's the story.
First off, Ambrose has the IC title.
Doesn't matter.
So he needs to drop that, which you have to have the champion lose a match. He already looks unconvincing going into the Rumble anyways.
Which is why it's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, this is it's the story.
You talk about 50-50 booking. Ambrose is the pinnacle of 50-50 booking. He's been made to lose so many matches that he no longer even looks remotely strong. The fact that he has the IC title looks like a fluke in of itself.
Yeah, but that's where the story comes in. His previous booking doesn't matter. Everybody knows that.
Yes, it does. Everybody's previous booking matters, because the fact of the matter is that previous booking defines the character definition. You can't build character definition on somebody who has no character definition because of the fact that their definition is losing.
Yeah, but his definition after this would be that he just turned on his best friend.
But he still lost every match that he has had going into.
So blame it on Roman.
No, because,
No, I mean,
because
like, you could use the idea that, like, he was looking out for Roman and he lost every match because of
Yeah.
that.
I was too busy being Roman's little buddy. I lost sight of things. I want that title.
But that makes no sense because he lost single matches with no interference at all.
Seth
Yeah.
Rollins turned on his friends after losing all his singles matches.
Yeah, because
Every time he was in a team match, he was fine. Every time he was in a singles match, he lost.
JBL was in the Acolytes. He lost a fuck ton of matches, and he turned into one of the best heels of the past 20 years. So, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's real easy to forget about wins and losses if the story's good enough. I mean, he's obviously not walking out of Mania with that belt, but that's going to put asses in seats, and that's going to sell Mania. Baron Corbin versus Roman Reigns, that's not selling Mania.
But I
guarantee
guarantee you, after Mania, we would all sit down on this podcast if that happened and say, "Oh, well, Dean Ambrose has been made to look weak. What do they do with Dean Ambrose now? He's Bray Wyatt's situation. Oh no, he's been made to look weak. Oh no, he can't be booked anymore. Oh no, this, that, and the other."
We're saying that now, but at least he would have a Mania main event in his back pocket. I mean, how many guys can say that?
I'll tell you, I would rather say, ouch. I would rather say that Dean Ambrose has nothing after Mania than having nothing going into Mania. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather he had something at Mania than nothing at Mania.
Well, if Reigns doesn't do anything with anyone, have Ambrose with Triple H. Sod it.
It could work. I mean,
but then again, I'd have someone like Corbin come up to be the heel that. People used to say that they needed a new face of the company, and the fact is, we need a new heel of the company. And
yeah,
you
that's
can't build,
the big thing.
Yeah, I don't think that's something that you can build on a current roster. I mean, I'd have said Kevin Owens if he wasn't made to look like shit.
Well, if you look at SmackDown and Raw from this week, Owens is beginning to look strong again.
No, but it's.
Yeah, but there's a
still
chance though that they're priming him for Lesnar.
Yeah, that's concerning.
Yeah, but let's say for argument's sake that he'd won against John Cena. He'd gone to have more feuds. He just lost the US title. They could maybe recover from that and say it was a fluke. The fact that he's been losing pretty much since the defeat to John Cena, his character's gone. Same with Dean Ambrose. The fact that he's been losing so many matches, I feel like it's just beyond the point where they can just miraculously pull a story out their ass and go, okay, wins, losses no longer matter.
Well, I mean,
they're basically jobbers to the stars at this point.
I mean, you could look at Owens, though, and say, like, his losses weren't losses. It was him being chicken shit heel.
But not all of them were.
The majority were, though.
In fact, a lot of them weren't. This
Well,
is the problem.
I was going to say, I will leave this open for open debate because we're going to have to round the show off in the next few minutes. Following NXT, Chris, tonight, you were there, obviously, like we said. For those who haven't seen it yet, which match would you tell them to look out for most?
Honestly, Enzo and Cass versus Dash and Dawson was fantastic. If you want to see pure wrestling, I would say probably go look at Balor and Joe. And if not, wait for next week's NXT. You are in for a treat. You have Sami Zayn, Ty Dillinger.
Perfect 10.
And yeah, if you want story, Bailey Nia. If you want wrestling, Joe and Balor. And next week you've got the Fatal 4-Way tag match. If you want to see a crowd have fun, man, you need to watch that match. And
I will say next week, once everyone has watched that TakeOver London, I will be complaining severely about one of those matches. Tune in for that next week. Don't forget, you can hear us here at 6 p.m. EST or 11 p.m. GMT, depending where you are. If not, you can head over to levelsofwrestling.podbean.com. Hear our shows there, as well as the Wrestle Addicts, Just Saying Wrestling, Ringside Ramblers, and The Mind of Carnage. You can get us all on the app as well that you can download from the Google Play Store. You can hear us on Spreaker and on iTunes. Don't forget as well, if you want to head over to tpublic.com/user/levels of wrestling, you can pick up some of our merchandise and help support the Low family. Give us a like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Big thank you to everyone, and don't forget, tomorrow night the Wrestle Addicts are hosting their biggest show yet. You can hear from them by heading over to @WrestleAddict1 on Twitter and make sure that you get the link. If not, keep an eye out on our Twitter feed. We will undoubtedly share that with you as well. We've been the Levels of Wrestling. This has been LoWdown. We'll see you again same time next week. Bye-bye.